Transform your hair with hair growth products by 12 tribes on Earth. Experience natural, powerful ingredients that promote thicker, longer, and healthier hair. Say goodbye to thinning and hello to confidence. Hair growth oil, shampoo, spray, and butter by 12 tribes on Earth because your hair deserves the best. Just look for the links in the comments section.
Ladies and gentlemen, there was a Pew Research, and they're just bringing out things that we know. You know who needs the research? We live and experience this stuff. We don't need no research, okay? We never have and we never will. So let's get to it. So there was a Pew Research done. Most Black Americans believe U.S. institutions were designed to hold Black people back. They are. This is why there are pay disparities. There are a lack of promotion for a lot of Black people. There are situations where you use a Black person to train people, but you won't promote that Black person. I've seen that a multitude of times. And also, when it comes time for your raise, they get much bigger raises than Black people do for doing the same exact job. So that stuff is documented. I don't even know why you need a research. While many Black Americans view themselves as at least somewhat successful and are optimistic about their financial future, previous work by Pew Research Center also found most believe U.S. institutions fall short when it comes to treating Black people fairly. A new analysis suggests that many Black Americans believe the racial bias in U.S. institutions is not merely a matter of passive neglect, it is the result of intentional design. Specifically, large majority described as prison, political, and economic. So we do see these disparities out here. We always have, and we always will. So, among others, having been designed to hold Black people back, either a great deal or a fair amount. Yes, like not hiring Black people in their field that they selected when they went to college. And you won't hire them and you'll give them a job like a factory job, you know. And they only do that so when their students graduate, they can immediately dive into a job and get experience, and they hold you back or make it seem like nobody's going to hire you because you don't have experience, but they get hired with no experience, y'all. So don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Black Americans' mistrust of U.S. institutions is informed by history. From slavery to the implementation of Jim Crow laws in the South to the rise of mass incarceration and more. Yes, they use incarceration to keep the Black family separated. This is the biggest tool they use in modern times. So, several studies show that racial disparities in income, wealth, education, imprisonment, and health outcomes persist to this day. Yes. Now, when Black women go to the hospital to give birth, talk to them and ask them how the staff, especially the white staff, treated them when they were in there. They get treated very badly. And there's a lot of neglect, intentional neglect. All right. And I've heard it from so many people, it's not even funny. It's like they're all telling the same identical story. And it's not just the nursing staff, it's the doctors too. They're all in on it. All right. So, the goal of the current study is to explore how Black Americans think about U.S. institutions and the impact they have on their success. Specifically, we examine the extent to which Black Americans believe U.S. institutions intentionally or neglect or harm Black people, and how personal experience of racial discrimination factor into those beliefs. Now, we always, every single year, hear about the nooses going up on jobs. And it's always around where a Black man or woman is working. You notice they don't put no noose up when they get mad at Asians or Hispanics on jobs. They only do that to our people. It's a fact. So they studied health, social science, and humanities, the narrative about how institutions were designed to hold back Black people back also surface in several of the outlines, focus groups for the Pew Research Center. Conducting with the study, it was selected quotes from our focus group discussion can be found. Okay, so this is what they gathered to measure the prevalence of these narratives of mistrust. They conducted a survey of 4,736 Black adults in the US from September 12th to the 24th, 2023. The first respondents were asked if they had ever heard a series of statements about how US institutions might intentionally harm Black people. Respondents were then asked if they thought these harms were also happening to Black people today. Here are the key findings about Black Americans' belief in institutional mistrust. 76% of Black adults said Black public officials today are singled out to be discredited in a way that does not happen to white public officials. 76% say police today do very little to stop gun and drugs from flooding the Black community. 74% say Black people are more likely than white people to be incarcerated because prisons want to make money on the backs of Black people today. I absolutely agree with that. That's why we see all of the exonerations that we do, which largely are Black men. 55% of Black adults say secret or non consensual medical experiments like the Tuskegee study are happening to Black people today. 55% of Black adults say the government today encourages single motherhood and the elimination of Black men from Black families. Yes, that's what mass incarceration is used for. 51% of Black adults say the government promotes birth control and abortion, well, the A word, to reduce the size of the Black population. And this is happening today. Yep, they sure do. We just look at where the Planned Parenthoods are. The report also finds that Black Americans who have experienced racial discrimination are more likely to believe U.S. institutions intentionally harm Black people. There are also modest differences among Black Americans by gender, education, family income, and political affiliation. Still, the majorities across many Black demographic subgroups are familiar with these statements about the intentions of many U.S. institutions and say these things are happening to Black people today. Oh, yeah, it is. And you can still see the stories of all of the disparities that are going on. I mean, the stories are published every single day. All right. So I definitely believe that we know there's institutional racism, and we know about the medical apartheid, and we know about the income disparities, which you're looking at on the screen. Yeah, I mean, they don't want us to excel. That's why they get mad if one of us are intelligent on a job and we know more than they do and we can outperform them. They get extremely upset over that, you know? And all we see when we're in the workplace with them is they raise up a bunch of mediocre people and put them at the top. That's all we ever see. So, y'all, you're going to have to tell me what you think. And we all got stories. And that's the thing. We all got stories. Each and every one of us do. And we know these things are still going on. You know, some of these folks act like if they don't personally tell you, you don't know what's happening. And that's a load of BS. We always knew these things were happening. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.